this meeting. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I would ask that you mute your cell phones, please, and refrain from texting. And if anybody is taping this meeting, if you could identify yourself with your name and your address. We're going to start this evening with our Community Development Block Grant meeting. For council, the newer members, Ms. Catania won't be here this evening, but she has, as she has said previously, has 2 projects for us to review. We need to have project number 1 and 2 to recommend to the county if we're going to do any project this coming year. The first project is the Edgemont Avenue revitalization. This is a continuation of the planned efforts to revitalize the borough's business district along Edgemont Avenue corridor. Some of the ideas that we had talked about for this plan was having parking on Edgemont Avenue available so that people could walk through the businesses and didn't have to worry about where they're going to park and can they get parking. The second plan was a housing plan for the borough. This plan would provide information regarding current housing needs, the needs of the underserved in the community, and action items to provide better housing stock, incentive programs, and other ideas to improve existing housing. This would dovetail off the 2035 county plan that the county has adopted. So I'd like council's ideas as to which would be projection of project number 1 or 2.
Go ahead.
I think the housing plan is very attractive. Getting an understanding of what housing is, how housing can be improved and how housing already exists, and I'm sure home improvement issues would become part of that. I think housing is always a very important subject. So I like the housing plan.
Doug?
I was going to go with the lighting one only because it's one that some of these have to get pushed through. And if the county has a housing one that they're going to maintain, they'll probably move forward with that as well. It is a good idea, but over the years, it just seems like it's the ones that people see are the ones that get approved.
Harry?
I like both plans. I mean, that's the downside. I would probably go with the first one to finish the lighting, just to bring that part of that plan to completion.
Well, part of the projected plan for the revitalization would be to maybe purchase a house on the avenue and turn that into a parking lot.
Right.
Beautify some of the businesses in coordination with the businesses along with the lighting. So we wouldn't be restricted just to the lighting.
Right, but I'm just saying that's one thing just to kind of finish.
I agree.
That part.
I agree. Nick?
I agree with the lighting. I asked a lot of residents what they would like around here, and they want to see that project done on Avenue. So they just like the look of it.
Yeah, it's a good look. Eric?
I'm going to go with revitalization. Parkside needs to take care of Parkside first.
Okay. Mrs. Guy?
Can you tell me more about the 2035 plan?
Delaware County had instituted several years ago, Delaware County in coordination with each municipality had revised their overall planning project. Some boroughs, such as Parkside, only had eligible areas because they redistrict. Mainly it's based on economics of the borough or municipality or township. And when they redid their planning project several years ago, one of the things that they changed in planning and zoning, and we were involved in the zoning also, was what is the projected, at that time it was a 20-year projection, of what will the housing, what will the businesses, what's the economics of the county going to be? So that, again, this was 20 years ago, so we're looking at 15 more years ahead, that they will come to the municipalities in another 15 years and say, what are you doing with this specific project? Or what are your projects going to be anticipated?
Also, I like them both, but I very much like the idea of beautifying the businesses along Edgemont Avenue. So I guess I'll have to go with number one.
Okay. And again, it's just not a beautification. We want to have a walking area. We want to be able to give the retailers the ability to have walk-in clients, and maybe we would get more, we would have the ability to have smaller businesses come in as a business goes out in a quicker turnaround if we continually beautify that and have parking so that people have a walk-in ability. At this time, we ask if the public has any suggestions, or as you've heard us talk about this, what your feelings. So if anybody in the public would like to address council concerning this matter only, this is the time to do it. Same as council, your name and your address.
Matt, can you turn the mic on, sir? Thank you.
Matthew Saunders, 62 East Chelton. I'm actually very encouraged by the beautification of the borough, of the business district, as it were. You did mention something about purchasing a home, maybe turning it into a parking lot, and I know many discussions have been talked about with the old, you know what I mean, the old BP station. Car wash, thank you. Is that completely off the table?
The car wash is still, as far as I know, under litigation.
From the fuel spill?
There was an underground fuel issue that was cleaned up, but when it was purchased, they did not detail that in the settlement. So
Okay.
the current owner is suing the prior owner.
No, I understand. It was just something I was curious about. And just with my knowledge of the Edgemont Avenue frontage, there's really not a lot of houses you're going to be able to pick up.
Something like this is, when we go for a grant like this, we will project a plan. We will go to the county and say, you know, we would like a plan, not necessarily saying to them, let's have the money and come in and do this, this, and this. We will ask them for a plan as to what do you think is best for Edgemont Avenue. Would it be best to purchase, I'll use the BP station. Would it be best to go into that after litigation is finished and say, we will offer you X amount of money and turn it into a parking lot? Or they could go into, and I can visualize the house, but I don't remember the number, say to that owner, you know, and this could be 10 years, 5 years down the road.
Okay.
Could we purchase your property at fair market value?
Right.
So the plan is to have a plan
Okay.
as to what we're doing with Edgemont Avenue. We're looking at this as the 2021 grant, because we've already been approved, thank goodness, for the 2020. So the 2021 grant is what we're currently working on. And that would give, if we receive this, it would be a planning grant to say, look, we need more traffic, foot traffic. How do we accomplish that? What's the goal to accomplish foot traffic for the businesses? What are the businesses in coordination with the borough, if we have X amount of money to do? How can we get a business organization with the council or with a committee to say, and everybody's seen Phil and Jim's and how great they've done, what can we do for the individual businesses to beautify that and to have more walk-in? Is it a parking lot? Is it beautification with awnings and plants? And is it benches and trash receptacles? We've already got lights to a certain point. You know, what can we do? And it's going to be a master plan.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Does anybody wish to address council concerning this issue? Okay. Hearing none. Council, we have to set a priority, and it's my understanding from listening to everybody that the priority will be the Edgemont Avenue Revitalization Plan will be project number 1 to submit, and our housing plan for the borough in conjunction with the 2035 plan will be project number 2. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Then we have Resolution 1829. Whereas Borough Council of the Borough Parkside Commonwealth of Pennsylvania in due session assembly did agree and resolve to file application for a grant under the 2021 Community Development Block Grant Program. And whereas Borough Council did advertise a public meeting for November 18th, 2020 at 6:45 to discuss the input of Community Development Block Grant Program. A lot of people will hear me say CDBG, and it's an old habit, but Community Development Block Grant is what that stands for. Proof of such publication has been submitted, and whereas the project has been agreed upon, would be addressed to the needs of the Borough of Parkside. Be it resolved that Borough Council does hereby authorize the Borough Engineer to prepare the projected application form to include the projects agreed upon by Borough Council for Community Development Block Grant Program. Authorize it to be submitted as consideration. Priority, Edgemont Avenue Revitalization Plan. Alternate, Housing Plan for the Borough. Passed and adopted by Council of the Borough of Parkside, Pennsylvania, this 18th day of November. What's your pleasure, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any questions on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? So moved. Unless council has any other comments or questions concerning CDBG?
Madam President, I'd like to say thank you for your knowledge and experience on this issue and explaining everything by detail to our residents for their knowledge. Thank you.
You're welcome, thank you. We will close the CDBG hearing. Everybody take 2 minutes and we'll go right into council.